You're with Julian on the Brown Notes, and the incredibly fake popularity with the public of Israel in the Eurovision Song Contest. This has been going on for a little while now, and it comes down to one thing only, and that is the public phone vote, which is, I say, being incredibly manipulated by one particular country. So they claim that they have the popular vote. They lost in the last round to Austria. After finishing low down the table, they roared again to the front, as they did last year, by the phone vote. So half the vote is the juries from each country and half the vote is the public on the phone. And the manipulation of this phone vote is going to cause Eurovision a cropper. So Eurovision has come under massive fire and been completely irrecoverably tainted. It presents itself as this inclusive, rights-friendly event. You know, we are pro-gay, we are pro-everything, and we're going to ban Russia, but we're not going to ban Israel. Has been like one of the more blatant examples of hypocrisy in the modern era. And the involvement of Israel has now dominated the event, particularly when the event was held over a particularly bloody day of child deaths in Gaza, with a famine due to a blockade and relentless attacks happening over the course of the event. The organisers need to be replaced because they have brought the entire event into disrepute, where it's now just about Israel. So they're claiming they've got kudos for winning the popularity vote. So let's have a look at that. The esteemed presenter Graham Norton said during the broadcast about how many boos the Israeli entrant had. Now, The Intercept magazine has proven that they were playing a backing track of claps and cheers over the Israeli entrant to try and drown out the boos or the silence, which went to the TV broadcast. But anyone in the room has pointed out that it was actually boos or silence. There were massive protests outside the venue before, during and after the event. Even inside, people tried to rush the stage with Palestinian flags. There are massive protests in every major city in Europe every week against Israel, for Gaza. There were tens of thousands of people in Denmark the day after protesting on the streets about Gaza. But yeah, they won the popular vote in Europe. Absolute garbage. If you believe the phone, I live in Australia. I was getting bombarded with ads on how to vote 20 times for Israel on the phone. The state of Israel has a notorious reputation with trying to bend the internet's narrative to its will, and has done for many years. But this phone vote is proving to be one of the most openly laughed at corrupt practices going. If you believe that the UK would vote for Israel above its own contestant, about 6 countries voted on the phone, the public, for another country as their number one choice, which was always Israel. I'm not saying that there wasn't a single other country that didn't vote for another contender above their own, but if you think all of them did, I would say that is, I've got a monorail I can sell you. Spain and Belgium's broadcasters accused Song Contest of encouraging voter manipulation after the Israeli contestant won the public vote in their countries, despite their own juries giving 0 points to Israel. This is an open secret. Last year, they went from low down the table to first place, only based on the phone vote. This year, Austria had 260 votes, Israel had 60. After the phone vote, Israel had 350. They came second. They'll do it next year. They're getting better and better at managing to manipulate this vote. They spend a fortune on spamming people with ads and making sure that they've got the vote. But the idea that so many countries in Europe would vote Israel above their own contestant is garbage. And Eurovision dodged a bullet this year. They would have had to have held the event in Tel Aviv next year. But next year they'll probably do it. And Eurovision will deserve it for their genocide washing.